We're still at the sidelines of Mining Indaba 23, and we're speaking to Transnet executives who are giving us a perspective on the business, the daily runnings of it, the intricacies of running such a massive business and its national importance to the country, to its customers and to its stakeholders. Today we are sitting with Andiswa Dlanga, who is the Managing Executive for Western Cape Region TPT, Transnet Port Terminals. Sisunjan. Ndiyaphila sisi. I think what was most amazing for me yesterday, Transnet, Freight Rail, Kgalagadi Mines signing an agreement, but women leading the charge and being the vessels, the custodians of such an amazing piece or milestone or document that's leading the organization forward relative to emerging miners, but also customers, changing the landscape of the customers and how the business interacts with customers. But for you, I want to ask, how is the role changing for women within the business, and how are you affecting that change or helping that change?
Oh, thank you so much. I think let me go back to the time when Transnet started onboarding females into the business. Transnet is still a male-dominated space. However, if you look at starting from our leadership today, we have a lot of females now in the leadership roles, and it's really, really amazing. It started way back when we started having train drivers who are females. I really want to give it back to them and shout out to two ladies that I can think of, Ndombi Mzobe as well as Kiteng, who is on the O-line. One of our executive managers on the O-line, who started from the train driving space and now an executive in Transnet. So you can see we've got a very good space in Transnet to grow within the business.
That's amazing.
And as one of the female leaders in Transnet, I think it is really upon us to ensure that we bring more females in the space and we grow up the ranks. And the position that I'm currently holding at this point in time, we only 4 female managing executives across all divisions of Transnet, and our job is to ensure that we bring more females as well.
That's
so
amazing.
it's amazing. I think it's a good space, a lot of developments that we go through, and we maneuver in the space, and we ensure, the males that we work with, they have very good support for us as well. So we work as a team, and we don't feel any inferior because we are females. We really are leading Transnet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to now take that role of leading and look at the port of Saldanha. I want you to paint a picture for us. I think a lot of times there are ports that get maybe outsized significance, but the port of Saldanha is crucial for the business. It's crucial for the country.
Correct.
And I want you to paint this picture of what type of commodities go out of there, what type of tonnages are we looking at, and what is the significance of the port of Saldanha for Transnet as a business, but also for the country.
Thank you so much. Indeed, Saldanha is very significant, not only for Transnet, but for the country. Not only for our country, but for the entire southern region. So Saldanha is a natural deepest port in the southern region. And in Saldanha is actually divided into 2. You have the multi-purpose side as well as the iron ore side. Let me talk about the iron ore side. On the iron ore side, this is the only dedicated port or terminal that handles iron ore in South Africa.
Wow.
So we have a capacity to export up to 60 million tons that is also aligned to our air emissions license, which we call the AEL in short. So we can export via the Saldanha port up to 60 million tons of iron ore. Then the other side of the port, which is the multi-purpose side, that's where we do different type of commodities, but our core commodity for the multi-purpose side is the manganese, which also talks to the minerals that we are discussing this week in this Mining Indaba. Not only we are handling manganese in that port, that terminal, we also handling other mining products which are harbour bound around the Saldanha environment, which are mineral sands, talking about your zircon, zinc, and others that we handle around Saldanha. So we also do imported coils which come in and out of the country and they are handled by the MPT. So the MPT has got a capacity of 10 million tons on the other side, while the IOT side, which is the iron ore terminal, has a capacity of 60 million tons. So the Port of Saldanha, on the iron ore side, we can handle up to 310 million tons per vessel. That's how big is that port. So we handle Cape-size vessels on that side, while the MPT side can handle up to 60 million tons of vessels.
That is very important, and I think I appreciate the picture that you paint for us. I want to move towards the relations with the customers, the people that ultimately work with yourselves to move commodities and export commodities. How are you, as the port, Transnet Port Terminals, using the relationships that you've built with customers, growing those relationships with customers to foster a better working relationship and ultimately to increase efficiency?
Okay, a very good question. Look, we cannot do it. The port is actually the last leg of the entire supply chain or value chain. We're looking from the time we load from the mine, which is the pit, it comes on rail and it runs all the way to the port, and we ensure that we export. So at the port is split into two. You offload trains, which are coming from the rail side. You stockpile in the port, and then the other side of the port, that's when we do the shipping, the real shipping of the cargo, which is the loading of vessels. So you really have to engage with everyone because it runs like a conveyor belt. If you don't have the supplies from the rail side, you will not be able to export. If you don't engage with your customers to see what is coming, whatever vessel that is coming into the country is not going to be loaded on time, is not going to be able to sail on time. So we need to ensure that we engage all the time. So we have our other sister OD, which is National Authority, the Transnet Port Authority, without engaging with them, because they do the berthing and the sailing of the vessels. So it's a total integrated chain that we engage with internal as well as external stakeholders. We also have forums that we have with our customers, where we engage with our customers on bi-weekly. Bi-weekly we meet with our customers. We engage on weekly basis also. Our teams on the ground, on the key accounts, they engage with our customers on the performance and the vessels that are coming in and out in our ports. So it's very important that we have that integrated type of communication that we have with our customers, internal and external parties.
100%. And I was at the presentation with the group chief executive yesterday. And one of the things that she spoke about was the growth of iron ore and other commodities being moved through for export. Now, ports are very important in that, and she spoke about the market ramifications of increasing tonnages relative to the volume that can be validated as well as expected volumes. Like, what is the part that the ports play in that process, and what could these, I would say, the analysis of extending and growing this capacity, what are those ramifications, and how is the port assisting the business to understand that if we increase to this level, this is what we can get? How are you working in the business to make sure that this is something that is viable, feasible, and can be profitable?
Agreed. So on the port side, we really are part of Portia. Touched on it, and a good presentation from her side. Port of Saldanha, I'm going to use the Port of Saldanha. We've been kept at 60 million tons for the longest time now. And there's a noise. We've got emerging miners who would want to penetrate the market and start exporting iron ore as well. So we're busy with some processes in the background, one of which we are now busy with the volume validation. We are working with our customers to check if we're looking at the reserves of the mines. Are they going to be, for how long are they going to be, the lifespan of the mines? And are we going to be mining the commodity that is needed by the countries in which that we export to,
Yes.
and over what period. We're not talking about minimal type of investments
Yes.
that we're going to have to make on the port side, particularly because we're looking at additional beds
Yes.
for vessels. We're looking at additional equipment
Yes.
to increase the size of our plants.
Yes.
I would need additional T-plus. I would need additional sticker reclaimers that we use. Would need to construct additional conveyor belts, ship loaders, and. Also, we also would need to add on our manpower. So what is very important, why we do the whole process of doing the volume validation,
Yes.
over what period? Because if for each and every investment that you make, you would need to have some return on it. And we wouldn't want to go and invest and get no return on that investment.
Yes.
It's very important that we work with the government, we work with the National Treasury, we work with the ministry, we work with our customers as our key stakeholders to ensure that indeed there is, the investment that we want to make makes sense for the country to go ahead with it.
Thank you for that. And I think I want to move to where we are now. We're at Mining Indaba 23. How is it significant for you to be here as somebody who is intricately involved in the ports as an ME? But how has it been for you here? What are the customers saying? What are the discussions that are happening with stakeholders? And where do you think we can take the role of TPT forward? And how do you think we can do that?
I think I've been attending Mining Indaba for ever now. I think for over 5 years I've been attending Mining Indaba. It becomes more and more important to understand that I think from the speech from the president, from everybody, from our GCE as well, the importance of partnerships. Not only as Transnet but as the entire continent. We really need to ensure that we get into those partnerships. We cannot do things in isolation.
Yes.
The more we become integrated, the more we work closely with our key stakeholders, the more we work closely with different industries, the more we would grow and grow even, more than what we are doing in the mining space. I think that's the take home for me.
Sis Andiswa, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your expertise. Thank you for sharing so much, giving us a better, clearer picture of what's happening at our ports, what it would take, what type of investments we would need, and also the importance and significance of the ports. I think it's very important that people understand that it goes from pit to port. And thank you for sharing your time at Mining Indaba, and I hope that the conference is also fruitful for you. And thank you for joining us on this Transnet Mining Indaba podcast.
Thank you so much.